3 power play goals. They are off until Thursday night when they take on Calgary. The NFL trade deadline has passed. The Patriots did not make a move today. Instead, they're preparing for Sunday's game against Chicago. There were plenty of moves around the NFL. Ravens get Tre'Davious White from the Rams. Steelers get Mike Williams from the Jets and pass rusher Preston Smith from the Packers. And the Commanders get corner Marshawn Lattimore from the Saints. NBA news, Joel Embiid suspended 3 games for shoving a reporter. And the Celtics will host the Warriors tomorrow at the Garden. Jaylen Brown has been ruled out with a hip injury. Headlines, they are brought to you by Eastern Mass's leader in drain cleaning and pipelining, Drains by James. Slow drain, clog drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update is in 30 minutes.
If you've got the app, you've got Toucher and Hardy to wake you up no matter where you are.
Or who may or may not have been to jail.
Get the app. The 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Toronto came into the game with 4 power play goals on the season in their first 13 games. They will get 3 tonight. Final 10 seconds ticking off here as the crowded Scotiabank Arena celebrates the victory. And the Bruins will drop a game below the 500 mark once again as they suffer a 4-0 loss here on the road.
All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Come hang out with us until 11 o'clock. I don't do politics. Skaz doesn't do politics. I know it's a really big night in the country, but you know what? No. I'm not going to say out. I'm just going to say no. No. This is the place to come hang out. You want to get away from it all. The phone number is 617-779-0985. What do we say about the Bruins? I was surprised over the weekend. I was impressed over the weekend. You know, I thought Jim Montgomery was on the hot seat. I didn't know how the Bruins would respond after giving up 8 goals. Then they win 2 in a row by shutout. But in reality, they go on the road today against a Toronto team that they have owned. And I'm talking owned 2 straight years. Regular season losses. They haven't lost since November of 2022. And they lost today. Shutout, by the way, 4-0. They can't score goals, and they can't kill penalties. What happened to the Boston Bruins? And this isn't the goaltender. I've been pretty strong about the identity last year was goaltending and just how many goals they've given up. I mean, another 4 tonight, right? I can give you the true numbers on what it's been, but the Bruins have allowed 12 goals over their last 4 games. And that includes having games with 2 shutouts. The 2 games, the hot seat turned down a little bit, right? People thought maybe they're going to turn the corner. You go to Toronto on a night like tonight, and you have that type of performance without Austin Matthews. And history shows that Austin Matthews or not, it doesn't matter. The Leafs are 3-0 their last 3 games against the Bruins without Austin Matthews. So Boston, the Bruins are now 6-7-1 on the season. They're shut out for the 3rd time in 14 games. They were 0 for 6 on the power play tonight, 3 for 7 on the penalty kill. It's the 4th time this season giving up 3 shorthanded goals in 1 game. They have no offensive prowess. They cannot generate goals at even strength. They struggle at even strength, 5-on-3. They struggle everywhere. They're the most penalized team in the league. They're too heavy. They're too slow. They're not skilled enough. They get blown out by these teams that can skate around them. How many more games do we need to see that? But again, we thought things changed. Oh, they get 2 goals against Philly. They get 2 goals against Seattle, and all of a sudden everyone's all right, they're back. How about another thing? How'd David Pastrnak respond after getting benched? You look at the box score. He had a couple of chances. I'll at least say that. I bet him to score a goal tonight, but nobody could score a goal. So, yeah, that's how I feel right now about this. Pastrnak tonight, 4 shots on net. 4 shots on net. And I wanted to look this up overall. So, Brazeau had 3 shots. Coyle had 3 shots. Lindholm had 2. Marchand had 3. How did our buddy Tyler Johnson do tonight? Where's Tyler? 1 shot. 19 minutes, 13:51. Like, was there a message sent or something? I don't know. The Pastrnak thing, like, everyone wants to credit Jim Montgomery for doing it, but did it do anything? Did it do anything at all? Toronto scored 3 power play goals. Anthony Stolarz was really good tonight. He was stellar. Stopped 29 shots, got the shutout. Bees are under 500 now. They beat the Leafs in 8 straight regular season games. It's just, I don't know what else to say here anymore. I mean, Domi got into it with Marchand tonight. There was no call. Right? He responded by leveling Tavares. I mean, things were a little bit heated. Did it take them out of their game? Right? Pastrnak had that shot that hit Stolarz up high. And they tried to make it physical. It didn't work tonight. Johnny Beecher. See that hit he took tonight? Zadorov called for another penalty. I mean, they're too slow. They can't generate any offense. What can they do to change this? Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. The Bruins failed to extend their back-to-back victories. They gave up any momentum they had. They're now 6-7-1 on the year. No offensive momentum. Just critical penalties in that second period. And it was a 2-0 cushion for the Maple Leafs. How do they come back from that? Like, Swayman did all he could tonight. I don't blame him for this one. 22 of 25 shots. He was solid. Stolarz, great. So here's one thing I'll tell you about the Bruins this year. They're not good on the road. 2-4-1 in road games this year. They've been held scoreless for the 3rd time in the last 8 games. And the Bruins will take on Calgary on Thursday night. But no power play, no penalty kill, no goal scoring. They have no system. They have no identity. I don't know what their coach is doing. I'm running out of things to talk about here. Skaz, I don't know if you got something for me. I'm trying to keep it positive here. I'd rather talk about this than anything else. I mean, we'll get into Jaylen Brown's hip, and the new college football playoff system came out. So we'll do some fun stuff in a little bit here to keep our minds clear for the next hour. But can you give me something different? They stink on the power play. They stink on the kill. They can't score goals. Like, the goaltending was somewhat solid tonight. I don't know what else to say. They mixed up all the lines. They benched Pastrnak. Like, I don't know what else to say anymore with this team besides they're slow, they're heavy, and teams skate around them. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, really disappointing effort from the Bruins tonight. 4-0 in Toronto. Never something you want to see as a Bruins fan, but just the effort is what stood out to me. You get shut out again. You let up more than 3 goals again. Can't score on your 6 power plays. Can't score a goal. You think Pastrnak would respond? He got a penalty in the game. I didn't think he looked, very good tonight. Marchand, same thing. Just looks a step slow this season. So yeah, it's things are ugly for the Bruins when they play good teams. Like, yeah, you felt better this weekend. They beat a bad Philly team and then a banged up team. So it's just, can this team beat good teams? Right now, I don't think so. They're just not good enough. They're not fast enough, not strong enough, whatever it is. They just don't have it. 5-on-5, 5-on-4, it doesn't matter. The Bruins just can't win against good teams.
So I think they're too big. People in the chat want to tell me that they're small with Marchand, Patra, and Johnson. Fine. I mean, it's like the NES game. Remember the small guy, the medium guy, and the big guy? They waived Tufte and Jones today. They waived. They just stink on the power play. But they do. These guys are right. They do have the tallest and heaviest lineup in the league. That's big to me. I'm tall. I'm heavy. I'm big. The Bruins are me on skates. I can't score. I can't defend. I'm slow. The Bruins are me. I don't know how else to relate to you guys. I don't know what to say anymore. They certainly don't play big, I'll tell you that much. That's not my problem. They look big to me. They don't play it. They play slow, though, don't they? Does the Bruins team have playoff potential? Oh, boy. I mean, they got 3 weeks to figure this thing out. 3 weeks. The Bruins are me on skates. Yes. Laugh it off. Feel free if you want to talk about this. I don't. 617-779-0985. But I have a show to do. And if you do want to react to the Bruins now below 500 on the year, shut out 4-0 tonight. The effort was questionable. Like is every goalie just having the greatest game against the Bruins? Is that what? Stolarz was good tonight. Don't get me wrong, but everyone looks like a Vezina winner. Everybody. And yes, up front was horrible. Rebounds, anything to fight in front. The Bruins aren't tough enough. That's a fact. You would think a big, heavy team would be that good. They don't play that way. They don't. But I will use my eyes. They're slow. They are very, 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 very slow. Very, 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 very slow. And I don't know what they can do about it. If you fire the coach, then what? You still have a big, heavy, slow roster. You still have it. 617-779-0985. If you want to talk about this, we'll continue. There are other things to talk about. Jaylen Brown's hip. Ooh, I just looked at the betting line for tomorrow night. I'll let that one sink in for a little bit. I wonder where people think this. Who's favored tomorrow? What's the line? Over, under. All that on the table. And, of course, if you want to talk bees, we're here until 11 o'clock tonight. Thank you to the Jeremy Conley for doing an absolutely excellent job tonight. He was just absolutely outstanding at his job. He pitched a shutout tonight, let me tell you. He was a great penalty killer. He scored when called upon. He wasn't big and slow tonight. He wasn't me on skates. That's what the Bruins were. All right, we'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
back here, 98 pounds of sports. You know, Skaz, I have a request. This is not your fault. So don't disclaimer, not your fault. How do we remove that song from the system?
So I have asked about getting our own, because basically what we have is a show bed thing, and it cycles through like 40 of them or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. I have asked how to create our own. I've not been given an answer on that, but there is a couple I feel that way about.
I just don't want
Kryptonite.
Is it Kryptonite?
Well, it's yeah.
Yes, that's the name. Yeah, I'm out on Kryptonite. Out. I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I just can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Now I got it in my head. And it was Jason Veritek's song, right? Wasn't that the song that he played when you went to bat? I'm sure there's some others in there.
I'm trying to find one in particular.
You got one on the brain that you know it? We've been around for, 15 years now, so I can only imagine, Like, here's the deal. The station's been so successful, why change it, right? Like, why even mix it up? I would like to mix it up. I will be the change. Damn it. No more Kryptonite. But no, I used to work, when I was a producer, we used to use CDs, if you remember that. And we used to have 40 songs on one CD. So when I would come back from a bumper, I would just twist the knob, and whatever it landed on, that was the song. I'd hit the button, boop, crack, and it would go right off and play the song. So I never knew. Like, I would think 13 was 13, but it was never 13. Back in the CD days, man. I was telling our intern Joey last night that I when I was an intern, oh yeah, this one.
I've heard this one enough times for a lifetime.
This is a wicked 10 o'clock one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think we get 10, 20. That's probably why we hear it so much. Oh.
Yeah, this one is a hard out for me.
Out. I mean, I will do the work if you'd like. I can just, I'll open up a Adobe Audition or whatever we have here.
Oh, I've curated a list, but it's just we can always free fire, which we do at times. We do that a lot, but sometimes a lot going on back here. You just press the button and you get one of those very generic beds.
Trying to keep the vibes high here, you know what I mean? Just trying to keep good vibes on the show tonight. Like the Patriots this year, everything's a good vibe, man. Because the Bruins are not a good vibe right now. They are not a good vibe. 4-0 tonight to Toronto. Wow, they had more shots than Toronto. Who would have thought? They had more hits tonight. They lost faceoffs. They lost power plays. They lost. They lost. I don't know what to do anymore. Hey, you know what? Tyler Johnson's back. That one didn't work. God, should I take the L already? Should I take the
savior,
L?
Tyler Johnson.
Should I take the L now or wait it out a little bit?
I think we were putting a little too much on his plate. They got bigger issues.
I was trying. Hey, at least I'm trying. I thought that was an epic fail the other night when Montgomery changed every lineup. that was horrendous.
What was worse, that or Mayo switching up his offensive line after they'd played pretty solid for 2 weeks in a row?
Well, Montgomery had no more options, so he just did it. So I'd say Mayo's was worse.
They both reeked of desperation.
At least Montgomery makes all the decisions. Right?
We think.
I mean, you think Joe Sacco's out there telling them how to play the power play?
I would certainly hope not.
I don't think so either. What's Jay Leach doing? Is he, hey, this is what we're going to do when we kill penalties? No. It's Montgomery. Now, Mayo, on the other hand, he's the CEO. What do CEOs do? They usually tell some sort of director of operations what to do, right? And then the director of operations tells the GM. And then the GM tells their sales managers. And then their sales managers are the ones that go to the team. And it's just the hierarchy's awful. And hockey, it's one guy. What about goalie Bob? What's he doing this year? Maybe he could be the next coach.
I would like to know when it's okay for us to criticize Jeremy Swayman. I've seen a lot of people say that none of it's his fault.
Tonight, I didn't think he was bad.
I didn't think he was bad either, but
3 goals is a lot.
They're not winning games, and you paid him a lot of money to win you games.
Yeah, when do we bring that up?
Just saying.
When do we say, hey, buddy? Remember that holdout that you had? That $68 million reasons to come back to work? You're not really in shape? Is it your fault that they can't score? No. So in reality, like, you know what? They suck, so we might as well get on them anyways, right?
Swayman is far down on the list, but I haven't been impressed by him.
I would say the new acquisitions. Zadorov's been as advertised. Like, we knew he was big. We knew he had penalties.
Loves getting penalties.
Like we knew that. Lindholm, though, he's silent. Both Lindholms play the same exact way. They play the same exact way. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
Ryan Beaton is checking in.
Hey, Ryan Beaton.
Says Supersonic is the best bet in that rotator.
Closing time. One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Oh, that's the worst. That came out in 1999, Skaz. You know why? Graduated high school in 2000. And it was a song considered. By the way, we have guys in the chat that are trying to tell me they played with guys in the 70s, and like I don't know who they are. Yeah, I played Brawl JP with what's his name there?
A lot of pats on the back in chat tonight.
Oh. I used to play for the Whalers Prospects, man.
Sick. That's sick brag, bro.
Hey, man, I was Joey the goalie back at Fallon Field in Rosendale. Imagine sticking me in that, dude. I could move. I was a cat.
Joey Cat.
I was more like a panda. Panda. Yeah, man, I could move. Joey the goalie, let me tell you.
Little Dominic Hasek out there.
That's right. Actually, my favorite at that time was Andy Moog. Martin Brodeur, very good.
Byron Defoe. Lord Byron.
Refused to be Patrick Roy. Even though the Colorado Avalanche won a championship, and Ray Bork, our good friend Ray Bork, friend of the show, who has a great restaurant as well. All right, well, I'm just trying to keep vibes high, everybody, because the Bruins are low. Low, on the low. We have Brennan. He is in Marblehead, Massachusetts, which is on the North Shore, next to a town called Swampscott I once lived in. Hello, Brennan.
How we doing, Joe? Thanks for taking the call.
How you doing?
I got a couple things to say here. Pretty disappointing start for the Bruins this year, and pretty disappointing how they've managed this start. Like, looking at when the defense, they added Zadorov, I don't know what they were kind of thinking with that. I would have much rather seen them try to take their money and try to pick up someone like Montour, someone they couldn't really struggle to shut down in the playoffs when he was on Florida. If they could have just spent their money on him, it really would have helped their transition game, maybe make their D a little bit faster, a little bit more scary to play against.
Yeah,
just like
can I just push back on you for a second?
Yeah.
They had like Matt Grzelcyk. They needed somebody bigger, and that's why they won. You know how many years I sat here after a playoff game and said Grzelcyk is the problem. Then they went bigger, and now it's like, whoa! I realize they're really slow now. You know.
That's why I think they got to find a way to kind of keep Lohrei in the lineup here a little bit, even though he hasn't looked too great through the first couple of. But his upside is there if you can find a way to keep him a little bit stronger defensively.
Well, Brennan, what do you think they can do now? Like, obviously, we can look back and say, yeah, they should have got this guy, they should have got that guy. But what can they do right now to their roster to get more speed or create more chances?
I think you keep Laura in the lineup and you call up the kid, the Fabian Lysell from Providence.
Fabian Lysell.
I've been watching a ton of his clips.
How's he done today? How's he doing?
He looks pretty good.
Yeah,
good
but
carrying the
how
puck.
about his numbers though?
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but who knows? You put him on a line with someone. You put him on a line with Pasta, maybe Zaka. Maybe cook something up and get something going.
Okay, Brennan. Appreciate you, buddy. Well, I'm not going to do the exercise again, Skaz, because last week I looked up Fabian Lysell's numbers, and I just don't think they've probably gotten better since then.
He has 1 goal and 1 assist.
Thank you.
-2.
Although I do agree that sometimes guys do need the bump. Is it a fix? I don't know. I thought Tyler Johnson was going to fix this. I'm running out of options, dude. I'm going to hurt myself from reaching. For real. I've already pulled the Tyler Johnson lever. The Lysell and Merkelov lever somewhere. What else? After I pull that lever, what else do I have? What else do they have? I'm just trying to pull levers. I feel like Homer. Except he pushed buttons. JP in North Providence. Hello, you fine American.
Joe, I heard my initials. What do we need, filler for a half hour? You really need a call from me at 10:30 after that game?
When I say,
by the way,
when I say JP,
you
that
nice.
means...
Is that like Blades of Glory? What are we talking? Kind of skating ability.
Now listen, I could not skate. I was too heavy. But I used to go down to the Badgeco rink in Hyde Park, and they had the small rink, and I would use the milk crate, you know.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine was a girl. She played hockey. She'd steal my hat, and I couldn't chase her.
So, Joe, we went up to Portsmouth. We were going to go to Riverside. We ended up at Gaslight Grill.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've ever been there.
I've heard all about it, yes.
Oh, it was great time, great food. I got there just in time from work that I didn't have to pay or pitch in for dinner. They were just finishing. It was perfect.
Yo, that's a winner. The food must have tasted way better.
Grabbed something at the grill while they were upstairs, and we went up to the club, Joe. It was a nice place. You got to go. DJ was outstanding. Maybe you could get some music for the show for you.
I know. That's a nice spot. I know that's a great area. Bow Street is like right behind you, and then that's where the water, like, did you see the water right behind you?
Yeah, we're heading back up there Sunday. I got the day off. Going to try going to some different places. I'll try the one you said, but it was a great time. Bruins can do only one thing, Joe. You got 64 reasons. To quote T.O. with his 25, it's Montgomery. They've got to fire the coach. There's nothing else they can do that's going to make a change. Too late to get a different roster. They're not going to get it's too late. The only move is shake it up. I don't know who you bring in, but it's going to be Montgomery if they got the guts.
Hey, real quick, if you go back up there, would you go to Italian or would you get seafood?
Say it again, Joe.
If you went back up there, would you go Italian or would you just stick to seafood?
She loves seafood, so
I was going to recommend an Italian restaurant if you wanted one.
Oh, I'll take it. Give me it. It looks like I know what I'm doing when I go places. I give you credit, though.
Hey, you know what?
Give me a name.
Should I start like a website or a page where like you just click on a town and then it's Joe's like recommendations?
I'm telling you, Joe, you would get a follow. Your following would triple.
What about
Let me tell you.
What about a subscription? Do you think I could get a subscription? Like,
I'm in.
What if I charged like $2.99 a day, like a week? Like I need to know where to go. I'm in this area, but it costs $2.99 to get my. Would you do it?
Joe knows. I'm in. $2.99 a weekly subscription. If it's Bo knows, why not Joe knows?
I like that could be the slogan there.
Give me the T-shirt. I'm in.
The Rosa Restaurant, very good Italian restaurant, outstanding. It's been open since 1927. A classic Italian restaurant.
Love classic. I'll try it this weekend. Let you know.
All right, man. By the way, JP is a town. I grew up in HP, but JP was Jamaica Plain. Have you ever been to Jamaica Plain?
No, just passing through. But when you say Italian, we are going to be playing basketball tomorrow night in the North End, getting some gear together after work. So It's going to be warm. Going to be rocking the north end. Give me a pizza place there. I need something afterwards. Give me something.
I mean, listen, the Celtics are playing the Warriors tomorrow night.
Right.
So, you play hoops in the north end?
Yeah, there's a couple of lighted courts there that we're going to be playing.
Oh, outside. Yeah, I know exactly where I play. Yeah, Umberto's is probably my suggestion because that's my favorite spot. Like, I mean, Umberto is probably my spot.
We'll go with it. Thanks, Joe.
You got it, bro. Enjoy your night. That's a great spot, Skaz. I don't know if you ever seen the basketball courts. The water's right there, right on the beautiful little area right there. Let's talk to Kevin. He's in Rhode Island. What's up, Kevin?
Listen, everybody's freaking out about the Boston Bruins right now. It's the start of November. We don't need to fire Montgomery. Just take the St. Louis Blues in 2019, for example. They were last in the league, come back and win the Stanley Cup. They didn't fire their coach, right? It's all just in the process. We have gotten blessed with 2 phenomenal seasons, off to a piss-poor start. The Maple Leafs aren't doing much better right now, and everyone has them looking at the top of the Atlantic. Everyone has to calm down with the Bruins right now. It'll all be fine.
How come you're so confident and quiet? Like, you're so confident?
Because look at the Bruins' season success, and you can even look at the Atlantic Division. Okay. They're not finishing anywhere below 4th.
Yeah.
The Senators, Sabres, Red Wings, and Canadians are not making the playoffs over the Boston Bruins.
The Bruins right now, if you look at the Eastern Conference, they are 4th. So you think that in the Atlantic? Sorry, yeah.
Yes, and in the Atlantic, yes. What I'm saying is everyone's freaking out about the Boston Bruins currently. I get it. We're below 500.
Well, no, I'm not freaking out. I'm just telling you they suck.
They don't suck.
Then what do they do? What do they do well
right now?
No. What do they do well right now?
Right now, absolutely nothing. But what can they do?
So why
are
you so confident? What makes you so confident?
Because it is November.
Yeah, no. Usually, do you know what they did last year in November? Do you know what they did the year before that in November? When teams are in the playoffs by Thanksgiving, they generally make the playoffs. The teams that don't. They get 3 weeks to figure it out. Don't tell me to relax.
You got to relax. Look at the 2019
don't you
St.
tell
Louis
me
Blues.
to relax.
Yes. Look at the 2019 St. Louis Blues.
I don't care. The 2019 St. Louis Blues, we're the last team to probably do that. And how's that coach doing now?
The last team to do that. Look at the Florida Panthers when they knocked us out in the first round.
Us?
In 22-20.
You were out there?
What do you mean, huh?
I said us.
What?
Us. You said us.
Yeah.
What, you were out there?
Yeah, I was.
Trying to keep the vibes high today.
I would just say if you're going to have an argument, if you're going to try and argue a point, don't use the outlier as your point. The St. Louis Blues are not the norm. What they did is very unusual, very statistically improbable. So I wouldn't be using that team as the basis of your analysis. And to your point on Thanksgiving, something like 77 to 78% of teams that are in the playoff race on Thanksgiving make it into the playoffs. So yes, the Bruins in 4th place. Great. I mean, is that what you want? You want the Bruins to be in 4th place and stumbling around for most of the season? They'll be fine because the 2019 Blues were fine argument. I just don't think there's a lot of factual basis for that one.
Since when do people reference the St. Louis Blues?
Yeah, remember that one time that team 5 years ago had a historic run because they fired their head coach? That's exactly what's going to happen to the Bruins.
I blame the Bruins for that more than the Blues. I blame the Bruins. They were soft. The Blues weren't. The Bruins were the more skilled team. The Blues, personally, I thought their center was better than the Bruins center at the time. That's a fact. Tuukka wasn't that bad. Oh God, I can't do Tuukka talk already. No Tuukka talk. Everybody relax. The Bruins are going to be just fine. Nothing to worry about here. If you feel like that, dude, like really, if you just are going to relax and just suck every night, like no one wants to watch that. The NESN ratings will be worse than they already are. Their NESN 360 package might have to, might have to go. We might get more Charlie Moore. What else is on there? Behind the Bee? Give me another NESN show that goes on. Is Sox Appeal still going?
The Dining Playbook?
Oh, Dining. I get Billy. Good guy, from what I gather. I love his kid, Chris. I'm friends with his son. They have a great card shop. If you were to get a card right now, the Bruins, which card do you want it to be? Be Pasta, right? The guy that got benched? I don't know. I want to break open some cards next segment. I have a box. Everything's going to be fine, guys, with the Bruins. Nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about here, everybody. What's the chat saying right now? Hall and Oates. Oh, they want some Hull and Oates. Oh, I'm confused. Hey, Prince Humperdinck. How you doing, buddy? Ryan Beaton. Pritchard might hoop with JP after the... That is true. Imagine Peyton Pritchard and JP. JP and BP. The Celtics are awesome. May's awesome. That's about it. Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boy. She'll chew you up. All right. I'm losing it. Final segment, or 20 minutes left of the show, is next.
Sports Hub headlines.
Bruins shutout tonight, 4-0. We wish I could give you goals, but when I tell you that they had nothing, there's no goals. So quick. Smelly.
It's
The other night because she's living in Charlestown. Anyways, JP versus PP at the playground. I'd love that.
What's the line?
Peyton Pritchard minus whatever.
10.5.
JP just wants the pizza. Speaking of what's the line, that was an old show I did. You know that? The name of the first betting show I did, it was in New Hampshire, Nashua. Shout out to Nashua, New Hampshire. At the old WGAM radio station. But I did a betting show on Sunday mornings there years ago. And like the people of Nashua were like, can you believe there's somebody on the air talking about gambling? And I was like, yeah. And now it's everywhere now. Do you believe that, guys? Like, 12 years ago, I might have been on to something. Who knows, right? Whatever. The betting line for tomorrow night, Celtics minus 7.5 against Golden State. It's a high number. Hey, Golden State doesn't suck this year. They've come out to a pretty good start. Podminski's been very good.
Buddy Hield has been very good
Awesome
for them.
So I kind of wish he was. So he's been starting more, so I don't know if he'll fall into the sixth man of the year, but if I asked you, Skaz, Buddy Hield or Peyton Pritchard, I would probably take Hield right now.
Yeah, he's been awesome. He's exactly what they needed. They needed a Klay Thompson replacement. Obviously, he's not the player Klay was in his prime, but he shoots the three, and that's what they're looking for.
Is it fair to say that the number 3 overall pick from probably 10 years ago or so has actually developed in the league, and now when you put him into a system where he's asked to shoot more, he actually can thrive in that situation? Buddy Hield's a really good story.
He was the 9th overall pick in 2016.
So 16, okay. So 8 years ago.
He's 31.
Yeah.
A little older than I would have thought.
That was his problem at the time. The Celtics were linked to him. They loved his shooting ability. Like, Danny Ainge thought this dude was like the next shooter. 7.5 tomorrow night. Also, before we go, the college football playoff. The bracket's out. BYU 4. Oregon was number 1. Georgia was